Living in fragmented pieces. How hiding parts of ourselves for acceptance leaves us empty. I did not want to hear how strong others thought I was. Inside, I felt fragmented, like a puzzle with missing pieces. Feeling whole was a concept out of grasp. Like my forced smiles, safety felt conditional. Back then, I couldn't have imagined a day like this, pouring out my truth for the world to know. The thought of exposing myself in that way felt unbearable. Afraid of ridicule, I discounted my own brilliance, speaking carefully, hiding behind phrases like, I read somewhere, or I heard someone say, avoiding intellectual intimacy by pretending my thoughts came from others just to protect me from rejection. Emotional intimacy was no easier. I longed for depth and love, yet kept my heart armored. Hurt often came out sideways as blame or anger. I couldn't see how my guarded heart kept others at arm's length. I wanted closeness, but fell asleep lonely, wondering why love always felt out of reach. I often played a role with friends, family, and the people I worked with, connected on the surface, but rarely letting anyone see all of me. Others rarely, if ever, knew my aches, my stillness, my depth. Spiritually, I was insatiably curious, but I kept that side of me hidden, locked away in a closet of secrecy. No one knew except my friend Cindy. The one friend I dared to trust with spiritual intimacy. My safety born from her openly sharing her own mystical experiences. Experiential intimacy, that was inconsistent at best. I wanted to join in, but insecurity always got in the way. My ego overrode the closeness I craved by warning me that I wasn't safe. Even joy felt suspicious, like it might betray me if I relaxed too much. But there was one exception. The place where I could be myself was where physical and experiential intimacy met. Big hugs, cuddles, I wanted them all. And sex was safe. The place where I let curiosity and creativity run free. But even there, I wasn't truly intimate. I was using sex as a vehicle to feel loved. I chose partners I felt physically safe with, but I kept the guard around my heart strong and secure. My inner thoughts locked tight. I had confused connection with chemistry. A fragmented life. Vast emptiness. Deep longing. For a long time, I betrayed the most important relationship I had, the one with myself. I compartmentalized, I protected, I performed. I hid the most tender and true parts of me, thinking I was keeping myself safe. But I wasn't. I was keeping myself unfulfilled. So many of us move through the world with fragmented identities. We compromise parts of ourselves to feel safe. We trade intimacy for acceptance. The truth is, I didn't become safe and then learn to be intimate. I discovered that true intimacy creates safety. That's the intimacy paradox. Intimacy is the path to safety and fulfillment. Intimacy requires courage to be vulnerable, with the pure intention to connect. Not performative vulnerability. That's like emotional vomiting. It may get attention, but it does not create connection. Intimacy requires curiosity, the kind that wants to know ourselves, others, and the world around us beyond the surface, to open ourselves to surprises of the unknown. And that terrified me. But safety isn't found in hiding. It's found in self-honoring. Safety is found by unrestricting ourselves, trading barriers for healthy boundaries, letting go of self-sabotaging thoughts and patterns that lead to self-betrayal. Safety is found through the path of intimacy, an intimacy that unites our whole self instead of fragmentation. When we remove the restrictions to intimacy in all its beautiful forms, we find the freedom of fulfillment. That's why the work I've expanded into over the years is rooted in 4 pillars of whole life fulfillment. Courage, choosing to live as the woman you were never taught was okay, but who you've always been inside. Choosing truth over comfort, vulnerability over performance, fulfillment over fear. Connection, living intimately with your inner and outer world in meaningful harmony, not just to a few close loved ones, but to your whole self and the vast universe. Curiosity, saying yes to wonder, delight, mischief, and magic, asking deeper questions, and flirting with life. Cherishing, savoring the sweet spot moments, nourishing your soul, cherishing yourself and all you're intimately connected to. For years, I lived from just one pillar. I was curious, especially in the bedroom, but I was disconnected, guarded. Now I live them all. Not perfectly, but consciously. Because true intimacy is how we come alive, how we relate, how we come home to ourselves. And if you're willing to choose courage over restriction, you might just find the truth that safety, connection, and deep fulfillment were never out there. They were waiting for you on the inside. Now for a moment of reflection. Take a deep breath. Feel yourself into your body and sit with this question. What part of yourself have you hidden away for safety? And what might be possible if you lived unrestricted through intimacy?